Nintendo DS, which system is right for you? Nintendo DS fashions. The Nintendo DS is a well-liked and versatile handheld gaming machine. A number of fashions can be found, broadening its versatility to fulfill the wants of various players. However, with so many incarnations of the Nintendo DS, how are you aware which one is best for you, or for a present recipient? Every Nintendo DS has its personal charms, however, in the event you're searching for explicit hardware options, this information may assist slender issues down. The Nintendo DS Lite, launched in 2006, is Nintendo's most iconic model of the handheld, and probably the most profitable. Its features are similar to the unique type Nintendo DS, however the Lite boasts a lighter, smaller physique, and a brighter display screen. The Nintendo DS Lite was discontinued in spring 2011, however you possibly can nonetheless discover it on the market from third events. The Nintendo DS, launched in 2009, performs the overwhelming majority of the Nintendo DS library, however some new, hardware, options differentiate the DS from the Nintendo DS Lite. The DS has two cameras together with a built-in picture and music-enhancing software program. It additionally has an SD card slot and may play AACC format music records data. Additionally, the Nintendo DS can enter the Nintendo DS Store, which has a number of downloadable games on the market. Video games that require equipment that plug into the Recreation Boy Advance cartridge slot will not be playable on the Nintendo DS. The Nintendo DS XL, launched in 2010, is an improvement to the Nintendo DS that options bigger, brighter screens with a wider viewing angle. The DS XL additionally comes preloaded with software program like Mind Age Specific and Flipnote Studio. Finest for retro gaming, Nintendo DS Lite. The Nintendo DS Lite is backward compatible with the Game Boy Advance's in-depth library. Mix that with a whole lot of titles accessible for the Nintendo DS itself, and you have got pure gaming goodness that may final you for ages. Finest for indie gaming, Nintendo DS. The Nintendo DS Store provides dozens of downloadable titles from small and impartial recreation studios. Although downloadable video games aren't typically as large or flashy as what's accessible on retail cabinets, in addition they do not include the premium price ticket of retailer video games, they are often extra daring and unafraid to push the gaming expertise envelope. When a novel thought from an indie studio meets with crucial acclaim, massive studios typically adapt these concepts to their big budget titles. Finest for homebrew, Nintendo DS Lite. Nintendo DS Homebrew can assist pad out your indie expertise with great games by budding, although usually unlicensed, builders. You'll be able to even get your arms on some helpful free apps. There's a homebrew scene for the Nintendo DS, however the Nintendo DS Lite is by far the go-to machine for homebrew, due to its neighborhood and for the accessibility and affordability of the required Slot 1 and Slot 2 playing cards. Finest for creativity, Nintendo DS. The Nintendo DS is a bit workhorse in terms of multimedia content material creation. With its cameras, picture-enhancing software program, the provision of Flipnote Studio, and its music-enhancing app, the Nintendo DS offers some nice instruments for artistic sorts. The system's Wi-Fi connectivity and SD card slot additionally make it simple to add and share masterpieces. Finest for household gaming, Nintendo DS XL. Nintendo has labored onerous to show that video games will be for households, and its efforts have paid off. The Nintendo DS has a big selection of family-oriented video games which are playable on any model of the handheld, however the Nintendo DS XL has large, brilliant screens with a really broad viewing angle. It is excellent for the sort of over-the-shoulder spectator gaming that may occur on lengthy automotive journeys, for instance. The Nintendo DS XL's broad viewing angle makes it nice for these gamers who need to watch whereas they wait for his or her turns. Finest for worth, Nintendo DS Lite. Tens of millions of Nintendo DS Lite house owners cannot be unsuitable. Although it lacks cameras, large screens, and entry to the Nintendo DS Store, the Nintendo DS Lite lets gamers dive proper into an enormous, diversified library of licensed and homebrew video games, and that counts for lots. Furthermore, the Nintendo DS Lite is fantastically compact, sturdy, and, sure, gentle. Thank you for watching this video. Subscribe. Don't forget to share.